Today I'm going to try something different, and I'm going to get the original Nintendo Switch, which I've had from day one. This is running custom firmware, so I can overclock all my games to run them smoother. As you can see, every setting is maxed out, but I'm on the original thermal paste, so I'm going to be changing it to some PK3. It's never going to focus on that, but this stuff's called PK3, and it's meant to be incredible, so we're going to swap that out, but we're going to test the temperatures first. So as a starting point to test the temperatures, I'm going to be doing it from Zora's domain. I'm going to go down, I'm going to go into here, I'm going to go to my sys clock. The temperatures are 51, almost 52 on the SoC, 50, 46, so 52, 50 and 46. So the first thing we have to do is remove the back, and as you can see it is a little bit dusty because it's never been opened since day one. Surprisingly enough, the fan is quite clear, but I'm going to use a little duster and clean out all the leftover bits. Next step is to remove the SD card reader itself and the screws to allow you to take the metal shielding off, and as you can see it's very dry. Make sure you pop the SD card out before you take the back off, or you could risk snapping it in half. I used some cotton swabs to remove the old paste, which was really dry, and I used some 99% isopropyl alcohol to clean the pipe so it's nice and shiny. Also make sure you clean the stuff off the back shield because there'll be loads on there too, and you do need to replace the thermal paste on that part. Now we're going to take these 3 screws out and remove the heat pipe. And this is a different type of paste that's underneath, and it's very dry also, so we should change it. Now to get to the chip underneath, we do need to remove these tiny little tabs by bending them out with a tiny pin. If you bend them out, it should just come straight off. So when removing this, you do need a pin, and you have to go very slow. It's very delicate, you don't want to rush it and you don't want to scratch the board. But once it pops off, you can see the paste underneath, which you need to clean, and the paste on the chip itself. Now the chip's been cleaned, and the top of the shield ready for thermal paste. Now I've applied the PK3, just a small amount will do, and it will spread itself out when I put the top back on. Now what's really strange is the chip itself is kind of vertical, but the heat pipe is horizontal. So when you put the paste on, it kind of spreads the opposite way, which is weird because you think they would have designed it to go with the chip so that it made more sense and cooled better, but I guess it works, so they didn't change it. And as before, thermal paste applied and then put in place. Now there's 3 screws to tighten. I like to do them a little bit at a time so it gives it an even pressure, one after the other clockwise until they're tightened. Don't forget to connect your battery before you close it up, and you want to add some thermal paste to the heat pipe, which is going to connect to the shield to give it some added cooling. Tighten your screws back up and then put your SD card reader back in place, and let's give it a test to make sure it's okay. And now we're back where we were, all back on the TV, and we've let it run for a while, and let's see what temperature we're going to get now. We are now looking at a 4-degree difference on the SoC, which is really good. Is it worth doing? Yes. If you've got a day one model, definitely change it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.